So we got 2 questions for you. First of all, what inspired you two especially, to become artists and actresses?
I'll start with you.
Well, for me, I never intended to become an actor. I wanted to go into finance. Economics was my world. And then I had always been a dancer growing up, and that was always my happy place. It was always my escape, and the art of that has always been a big part of my life. And then I ended up doing a community theater show for a family friend, and instantly fell in love with it. But for me, it's about highlighting the perfection and the imperfection and the humanity, and bringing that out. And in this world of Instagram filters and things like that, where we're all striving for perfection, to highlight the fact that the real beauty in life comes from what makes us different and what makes us individual, and those emotional places that are uncomfortable, and it's really what connects us and makes us human and makes us all ultimately the same.
That was really beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
So I actually majored in botany, and I was a biologist for some time before I became an actor. And I think I actually really just stumbled into it and found that I had a genuine interest in collaborating with other people and working and having these interesting emotional experiences outside of my own life. And through that, it just kind of evolved as more projects came my way, and I started to really explore what is possible within TV and film, because you can literally do anything as long as you ground it in some sort of truth in what you understand about the world. And it really just kind of evolved from there, and I love this ride. Yeah.
That's also really beautiful.
Awesome. So now that we're on that line, what is something that you want to send to students who want to get into the industry and who look up to your most recent work and stuff like that?
Go for it.
I mean, if you don't have a hustle mentality, it's really hard, in my opinion, to be successful. And so I strongly encourage you to grind it out, even if it feels like it's fruitless. Mm-hmm. If you're working towards something, it's never fruitless. And it might take some time, months, years, couple years, but you'll get there, and you'll realize that through that whole journey, you've been preparing yourself for that big break that will come your way.
I would actually say much of the same thing. It's from my experience, people that I've met, people that I've worked with, it's the people that are too stubborn and too dedicated to give up and refuse to accept no as an answer, and the people that truly, truly love this more than anything else in the world and are 100% committed to it, that will do the work and will stay with it and will never give up to, ultimately have some kind of success.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time. It was very nice meeting you.
Cheers.
What was it like developing this type of show based on an existing property like a novel and the previous movie, compared to developing an original idea?
Well, we did not develop Shadowhunters. We came on season 2. So it's a tough question to answer, just because the pilot was written by someone else and developed. Having said that, because the book series is so many books, I feel like we're constantly developing the material as we go along, because we can't just shoot the book. So it's almost like every episode is its own little pilot. We're constantly bringing in new characters from the books. We're constantly casting new people.
And you want to change things up and keep people on their toes and give people the surprises and the shocks that they want to have when they watch any show. At the same time, be true to the characters and be true to the spirit of the book and be true to the essence of what the author had intended when she wrote the series.
And it's an honor to do this, and we take it very seriously. These books are really loved by this 32 million people worldwide. So when we cast someone like Maya, I don't know if you met Alisha Wainwright, it's a big thing for us. We take that okay, this person has got to embody that character. And there's a new villain named Sebastian in the show that we just cast. It's a big thing. People had a lot to say. So it's an honor and it's an awesome job, and we love it.
Would you have any sort of secret tips for SCAD students that are trying to break into the film industry?
Yeah, so we gave some tips to these other people, so we'll try to keep it fresh.
I'll keep this fresh. One of the tips is that this sounds so old school, but it's so true, which is the way you present yourself, in television especially. you're always pitching. When I say pitching, you're selling your ideas. When I say selling, I don't mean selling monetarily. Even in a writer's room, when you're hearing ideas, you're trying to get your ideas across. So it's so important to be articulate and passionate in your verbal skills. A lot of people don't think about that. They're like, oh, I'm a writer. It's what I do. But in a television world, writing is a small part of your job. You're really in a room with other creative souls, and you're pitching ideas and coming up with stuff. So that's a little jam. What else, Darren?
Yeah, I mean, something else that I find, a piece of advice I give a lot is to focus on, there's so much to focus on, like how to get an agent, like how do I network, how do I meet people, where should I go, what city should I be in, all that stuff and the strategic stuff, but really don't neglect like the actual work. Like sometimes people like spend so much time with the strategy that like spend 90% of their time on the work, and then
It's a great point.
all the other stuff really will work itself out.
Write every day. Doesn't matter. You have a job, you're working to your class, come home, set aside 30 minutes and write that script. Because it's a really good point. That's it. If you pass that over, you can get so seduced by the glamour and all of the, like you said, the agent stuff, but you gotta put the pen to the paper.
All right, well, thank you so much
Of
for your
course,
time.
our pleasure. Thank you.